Good morning student, I Purnima welcome you to my class, and today I am going to teach you the poem on the grasshopper and cricket. So children, this is a poem on the grasshopper and the cricket, and it is written by a very famous poet, John Keats. He was one of the most famous poem of the world, and this poem actually is the poem nature poem. That means it is telling about the it is drawing our attention towards the musical sound of the nature. He is telling that that in the earth we always hear a musical note, sometime in the form of bird chirping, sometime in the form of the sound of the river or the blowing of the wind. Okay, so it is the nature which always through which we always hear musical notes of birds and insects, which goes on forever. The music the poet is telling is provided by the grasshopper also in hot summer, and by the cricket in cold winter. So the hot even there is a very hot, nobody comes out from the house, not even a bird moves from their nest. So this movie is given to we hear this movie music by sing by the grasshopper. Okay, and when there is a lot of cold is there in winter, so thus every season has its own kind of joy and music. So every season, cold season, hot season of summer, then monsoon, autumn, all the music, they have their own musical notes, like falling of the leaves, blowing of the wind in the autumn season. In the monsoon season, we hear a lot of insects singing along with the falling of the rainfall. Okay, there's a sound of clouds, wind, rain, so many musical notes we hear from the earth, and then a lot of insects, they sing. On a hot summer day, the bird seeks shelter. So now the poem is telling about the hot summer day, when it is a bird, they they go for a shelter. They even don't come out from the tree, but it is the time for merrymaking for the grasshopper. But at this time, there is only one insect who always come out from its home, and that is the grasshopper, and it dances here and there happily, as well as it sings also. On the hot summer day, the bird seeks shelter in the cool shade of a tree, but it is time for merrymaking for the grasshopper. He flies from one. So what happened? On a he flies from one tree fence to another, singing all the time. So he crosses from one fence to other, who the grasshopper, and it always keep on singing, dancing, merrymaking all the time. When he is weary of singing, he rests some under wild plant. So weary means when he is tired of singing, what he does, he rests under wild plant. Now the bird remained silent and hide in winter. So it is very cold. In the cold season, we all know that not even a human being, but the bird and the insects, they also don't come out from their abode. So the bird remains silent, and they hide in their nest or in their home or in abode or in trees in winter. Also on a frosty day there is utter silence on all sides. What is the meaning of frosty? Frosty means when there is a snowfall. So you can see there is a full silence, utter silence is there everywhere. Then suddenly the silence is broken by the song of cricket. So that silence all of a sudden is broken by the song of cricket. Its voice comes from a pile of stones, thus the music of the earth is endless. So, children, suddenly what happened? The cricket voice, it comes from under the stone, and thus the music of the earth is endless. What is do you mean by the music of the earth is endless? That means throughout the whole 12 month we keep on hearing the sound, even in a hot summer and in cold weather, in cold winter when there's a frost everywhere, then also we can hear the song of the grasshopper and the cricket. That means, children, it is the music of nature, it never stops, it keeps on going. Okay, so many forms of music of nature we can hear, like I told, the wind blows, the children, when there is a in the autumn season, when there is a wind take out the leaves. Okay, then there is a when the leaves moves and the fall, then we hear a silent type sound, is a very slow sound. Then when rainfall fall, then we can hear the music. Okay, so in this way we can hear a lot of music now throughout the year. And the music of this earth is endless, that means it never and it keeps on um, moving one after the other. To a person feeling sleepy, the cricket sound appears to be coming from distant grassy hill. And children, even in the sleep, many persons they feel sleep, but the cricket sound appears to be coming from distant grassy hill. Now, but people keep on hearing the sound of the cricket which comes on distant grassy hill. Okay, now I'm going to read the poem, and we can all hear. We just try to listen, and then the explanation of the poem will be there along with the new word. So the poetry of earth is never dead. When all the birds are faint with the hot sun and hide in cooling trees, a voice will run from hedge to hedge about the new mown mead. That is the grasshopper, he takes the lead. In summer luxury he has never done, with his delights for when tired out with fun. He rests at ease beneath some pleasant weeds. Okay, so children, now I'm going to write some new words and you have to copy it. So poetry means music. Poetry means music. Dead means life. Less. Okay. Then the next word is faint and hide. Faint, to become unconscious or to hide. Faint. Then here it can be to feel dull. Then hide. Hide means hide in cooling trees. What is the meaning of hide? Out of sight. Okay, and then voice, the musical sound of the grasshopper. Here voice means the musical sound of the song which grasshopper sings. These are some of the new words. Still many new words I have to write, like poetry is music, dead is lifeless, pain to become unconscious or to feel dull. So here it will be this meaning, to feel dull. Then hide is out of sight, voice the music, sound of the song which grasshopper sings. So these are some of the new words which I have written on the board. Okay, and now I'm going to write some more words, like hedge is green fence and new mown is freshly cut. Hedge is green, hedge is green, fence new mown is freshly cut. Meat is lawn. Meat is lawn. Down with is finished. Down with is finished. Delights with joy and fun. At ease is relaxed. So these are some of the new words. Okay, and then there are more words are there, like weed is there. Weed means white plant. Okay, so these are some of the new words are there. So now I'm going to tell you about the poem. The poetry of earth is never dead. It is the poetry of the earth. It never dies. It continues forever. It never finishes. Okay, and the poetry of earth means the never-ending musical notes of birds and insects. What is the meaning of poetry of earth? What is the meaning of poetry of earth? Never-ending musical notes of birds and insects. When all the birds are faint with the hot sun. So children, when all the birds are faint with the hot sun. So children, when all the birds, when there's a lot of heat, many birds, they faint with the heat. Okay, in a hot sun, and hide in a cooling trees, a voice, and they hide, all the birds, they go and they hide in the cooling tree. They take shelter in the hot season, so that they cannot die or faint. A voice will run from hedge to hedge. Hedge means, I told you, green fence. So a voice you can hear, a voice of an insect which is coming from one place, which is running from one fence to other, from one hedge to other. What is the meaning of hedge? It is a green fence. So that grasshopper is jumping from one hedge to another green hedge, and a voice is coming from that about the new mown meat. So new mown is freshly cut, and there is a freshly cut meat is a lawn, that there are hedges in that lawn, and you can hear the grasshopper singing, jumping from one hedge to another. That is the grasshopper. So whose voice is that? That is the voice of the grasshopper. He takes the lead. So he takes the lead. It means he is the only one who is moving ahead and singing. In summer luxury, he has never done with his delight. So in a summer luxury, that means in summer he is taking pleasant delight to jump from one place to another. For when tired out with fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed. And when he is very tired, okay, when he is very tired after singing and all that thing, so what he do? When he is tired, when he don't want to dance, when he don't want to sing, when he don't want to have fun, He rests at ease. So he is taking rest. He is feeling relaxed while taking rest. Beneath some beneath means under some wheat. Wheat is a type of wild plant. So he is taking rest in some wild plant. Okay, so here what is meaning by the phrase the poetry of the earth? The poetry of the earth, you can write it, the never ending musical notes of birds and insects. And where do birds and insects take shelter? They take shelter in the cool shade of a tree. Then which insect is the prime singer in the summer? So it is the grasshopper. Then what does he do when he feels tired? He takes rest under some wild plant, under some wheat. And the meaning of the word something that is enjoyable, that means luxury. What is the meaning of this word? Luxury. Now students, I am going to read the second paragraph. The poetry of earth is ceasing never. On a lone winter evening, when the frost has wrought a silence, from the stone there shrill the cricket's song, in warmth increasing ever, and seems to one in drowsiness half lost, the grasshoppers among some grassy hills. So now again I am going to write the meaning of the new words. Okay, so here ceasing means ending. Route is broad. Shrill means making a loud noise. Cricket is that insect. Warmth is heat. Drowsiness, to feel sleepy. Okay, so let me revise the word meaning. Ceasing means ending, route means broad, shrill means making a loud noise, warmth means heat, drowsiness to feel sleepy. Okay, so once again I explain you the meaning. The poetry of earth is ceasing never. On a lone winter evening, when the frost has wrought a silence, from the stone there shrills the cricket song, in warmth increasing ever, and seems to one in drowsiness half lost, the grasshopper among some grassy hill. So the poetry of earth, still it never it's stop, it's keep on moving. So whenever we hear about the poetry of earth, it never stops. So you can write down the poetry of earth. That means the musical sound produced by one or the other insects goes on all the year round. Okay, and on a lone winter evening, when the frost has wrought a silence. So there is a winter evening, okay, there is a frost, there is a snowfall, which brings silence everywhere. That means everywhere there is a silence is there. It is a winter evening, and everywhere there is a silence. You cannot see anybody coming, you cannot see anybody talking. Then also we can hear the musical sound produced by nature. Has brought a silence, rout is a brought. Right, from the stone there shrills the cricket song. And then when there is a silence everywhere, nobody comes out, is a frost. So what do we hear? We hear a cricket songs, okay, and which is coming from under the stone. That song is coming from under the stone. And seems to one in drowsiness half lost. And seems to one in drowsiness half lost. So, and seems to one in drowsiness. And children, you can see, okay, that the one is feeling sleepy. Then that sound, that beautiful song of the cricket you can hear, which is coming from, children, from the under the stone. And when we are feeling warmth, we are feeling happy by hearing its song. And seems to one in down is drowsiness half lost. And children, that song is a pleasure to hear. Even if a person is in drowsiness, he can hear that song. The grasshoppers among some grassy hill. That grasshopper is there in some grassy hill, as if it is coming from some grassy hill. If some person is feeling sleepy, he is thinking that sound of the cricket is coming from some grassy hill. So what does the very first line mean? The very first line means that the musical sound produced by one or the other insects goes on all the year round. What happens in winter? So complete silence everywhere is there. Nobody is seen outside the house. Complete silence is there by human beings, by bird. You cannot hear anybody. Okay. And then the song of the cricket, the song of the who breaks the silence on a winter evening. It is the song of the cricket. What is the strange characteristic of the cricket? The strange characteristic of the cricket is that his song expresses his delights, which goes on increasing. So this you can notice down. You can note it down. What is the strange characteristic of the cricket? The strange characteristic of the cricket is that it is the song of the cricket, and that song expresses his delight, which goes on increasing. What does the word drowsiness in the above in the passage means? So drowsiness means feeling sleepy. Okay, so with this I end the poem here. Then you can see, children, rhyming scheme of the poem. I can tell you: dead, then sun run is there, dead meat is there, lead is there. Okay, sun run, done, fun. So there is a nice rhyming scheme which I will be telling you. Okay, then we will do the question and answer. Okay, so question and answer. Discuss with your partner the following definition of a poem. Okay, so a poem is made of words arranged in a beautiful order. These words, when read aloud with feeling, have a music and meaning of their own. So, children, very true. So, poetry is different from prose because it arranges best word in a musical order. However, a poem, being short, musical and interesting, is easy to learn by heart and to remember for a long time. Then the poetry of earth is not made of what it is made of, as suggested in the poem. So the poetry of earth is made of the chirping of birds in trees and a grasshopper sounds. They sing joyfully without a long break. Find in the poem lines that match the following. The grasshopper happiness never comes to an end. The cricket's song has a warmth that never decreases. So the meaning of the word, find in the poem lines that match the following. So the line which matched from this line, the grasshopper happiness never comes to an end, that he has never done with his delight. He has never done with his delight. Then this line, the cricket song has a warmth that never decreases. The cricket song in warmth increasing ever. Which word in stanza 2 is opposite in meaning to the frost? Warmth. The poetry of earth continues round the year through a cycle of 2 seasons, mentioned each with its representative voice. The 2 major seasons in a year are summer and winter. Both are rich in music. In summer, the representative voice is that of the birds and the grasshopper. In winter, the cricket is the prime singer. Now, which word in stanza 2 is opposite its meaning to the frost? So it is warmth. Then the poetry of earth continues round the year through a cycle of 2 seasons, mentioned each with its representative voice. So the 2 major seasons in a year are summer and winter. Both are rich in music. In summer, the representative voice is that of the birds and the grasshopper. In winter, the cricket is the prime singer. So now we are having some additional question to solve. Which insect is the music provider in summer? So it is the grasshopper is the music provider in summer. What do birds do in winter? Why? So the bird do in winter. Birds remain silent and hide in the winter. It is because they don't feel comfortable in the cold winter. Which insects break silence of the winters? How? There is silence all around in the winter. This silence is broken by cricket. They start singing for merry making. So they start singing for merry making. What turn does the climate take in winter? So in winter, everywhere is silent. It is cold everywhere. Nobody comes out from their house. Frost can fall on the snails, in the leaves, on the house. Silence is there, and not even a single person can seen outside the winter. It is very cold. What is the strange characteristic of the cricket? So children, in winter, when nobody comes from their house, the cricket comes and it sings, and they sings throughout the day. Even if a person sleeps, okay, they can hear the song of the cricket when the complete silence is pressed everywhere. And because of his song, the musical sound produced by one or the other insect goes on all the year round, and his songs expresses his delight, which goes on increasing. Okay, even the person who are sleepy, they feel as if the song is coming from distance. Even they can hear the voice. Okay, so now one question you can see, children, what is the rhyming scheme of the poet? And then children, here a figure of a speech is there, like in the like children, here this from hedge to hedge about the new mown meat. So hedge to hedge. So here 2 birds are there, which is starting from edge, that is hedge to hedge. So 2 birds are starting from edge, and then mown and meat, these 2 words is starting from M. So which figure of speech is here? Here this is known as alliteration. Okay, now then we can say write the summary of the poem. So the nature poem draws, we can write like this in the long question. The nature poem draws attention to the musical notes of birds and insects going on forever. This music is provided by the grasshopper on hot summer day and by the cricket in cold winter when nobody comes out. Thus every season has its own kind of joy and music. On a hot summer day, the birds seek shelter in the cool shade of a tree, but it is time for merry making for the grasshopper. He flies from one fence to another, singing all the time. When he is weary of singing, he rests under some wild plant. The bird remains silent and hides in winter. Also, on a frosty day, there is utter silence on all sides. Then suddenly the silence is broken by the song of cricket. Its voice comes from a pile of stone. Thus, the music of the earth is endless. To a person feeling sleepy, the cricket sound appears to be coming from distant grassy hill. So children, this is the summary. So we have discussed all the type of question. We have discussed the word meaning and the explanation. So with this beautiful poem of nature written by John Keats is finished. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.